Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center, man. If you are an old school basketball fan, then you're on the right channel. If you are a new school basketball fan, you're on the right channel. But for this video specifically, if you are a John Havlicek fan, then you're on the right channel. So this is my first time ever in history seeing this gentleman. It's going to be my first time in history ever watching this gentleman play. I'm excited because you know me, man. I like to educate myself on legends of the past. I like to admire them as well as admire the new style players. But you know how we do over here, man. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. But before we get into the video, do me and do Bob a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Let's go ahead and get into that action, boss. Just 1 second. If you guys have been enjoying my videos, if you guys have been loving my content I've been putting out and you wanted to support, this is how you would do it. So you would scroll over to where you see the $ thanks. When you click on the $ thanks, it's going to give you like 4 different options. It's going to give you some preset options, but you can also go to more and give whatever you're willing to give. There's no certain amount. Anything is appreciated. I just really appreciate you guys for supporting me. Thanks. Now back to the video. So this is like I said, this is my first time seeing this guy. Ooh, that's a little loud. On the parquet, John Havlicek brings to eras of Celtic greatness from his beginnings as a So his name is John Havlicek. I call him John Havlicek. You know, my bad. It's my first. Like I said, it's my first time ever seeing this man a day in my life. To his later role as a star. I ain't know it's the Celtics either, so that's even dope. Into Boston lore, becoming the franchise's all-time leading scorer. Still to this day, even with after Bird. After Bird came?
John Havlicek was one of the all-time great athletes in the NBA. 10
seconds, 8 seconds, Havlicek just got no good. His own rebound.
He doing Bird stuff.
Superb condition.
Getting his own
Could
rebounds.
run all day and never get tired. I remember he had these gigantic hands for a guy that was 6'5", 6'6". Great defender, just a great competitor. You just knew that he might not beat you in points one night. He's just gonna beat you. He's gonna out-compete you, outrun you, out-hustle you, out-defend you, out-jump you. That's what he brought to the Celtics.
But you know, you always had that guy. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys played pickup, but you always had a guy that made every team regardless because you knew one thing. This dude was gonna hustle. On offense, he crashing the boards to get rebounds, to get the ball, just to give it back to you. On defense, he's like a net. Whoever he's holding, he's sticking to them like glue. I'm talking about every single play, no plays off. Like I'm saying that's the type of player he is, and that type of player right there, man, he's gonna always have a spot on the team.
I can remember when he first came in the league, he wasn't that great of a scorer, but he became the sixth man, and he perfected that role that a former player, Frank Ramsey, had developed for the Celtics.
The other thing about John was always interesting, he was sort of a perfectionist. Every single play, he expected all of us to run it exactly the way we practiced it.
John Havlicek was a great all-around athlete. As everybody remembers, he tried out for the Cleveland Browns, I think, first, and didn't make the team, but then Red Auerbach was smart enough.
I gotta go back for that.
He expected all of us to run it exactly the way we practiced it.
But to touch on that too, briefly. So he said he expected all of us, but here's the thing that I'm hearing. He only expected what he gave out. It ain't like he was expecting this and not giving that. So he expected 100% because he himself was giving 100%. So that's understandable. But this Cleveland Browns thing, that's what I'm getting back to.
John Havlicek was a great all-around athlete. As everybody remembers, he tried out for the Cleveland Browns, I think, first, and didn't make the team, but then Red Auerbach was smart enough to pick him up and brought him into Boston to play basketball.
John Havlicek, his stamina was the thing that I will always remember. Chet Walker, the old teammate of mine, we would alternate just to try and play him, split it 24 minutes each, and he was playing 48 minutes, and he would just run to death.
I respect this dude like crazy, bro, and it's because people get so caught up on athleticism and quote-unquote talent, but they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You see what I'm saying? So from what I'm hearing from this guy, he isn't the best athlete. He just was a hard worker. He was going to outwork you. And I can respect that from any person.
You just shoot the ball, huh? Just get it over with. Get it over with.
So you can't think about the first half of NBA history to date without thinking about the dominant Boston Celtics teams. And you can't think about those dominant Celtics teams without thinking about John Havlicek. Where is his place in NBA history?
John Havlicek.
Oh, one of the greats, no doubt, man. I mean, a player who came in an era with Russell.
Now I know this might sound a little, kind of like what they got to do, but let's just take a moment to appreciate Grant Hill's cut. Like, I'm talking about to a T, line perfect, fade perfect, goatee lined up. Like, let's just take a moment to appreciate that, man.
With Kuzi and those guys, and really stood out on his own, was steady and consistent throughout his entire career. What I love was his stamina. He was one of those guys who never got tired, constant movement. My dad used to talk about the kind of conditioning that a guy like John Havlicek had. And you think about players in the modern era, guys like Reggie Miller, Rip Hamilton, even Steph Curry without the basketball. John Havlicek was a player like that. And he was tall, he was bigger than those guys. And then his selflessness, being able to, his willingness.
And I'm not trying to just, throw him in there, but you guys know, for y'all who know, y'all know that I stand on this. I also say Bird fits into that category too, because like I say, Bird is the same way. This guy gave 110%, diving for passes, leading fast breaks, all that. So I think his conditioning was insane too. And I always tell you guys who watch all my videos, especially my Bird videos, y'all know I always say I think that his conditioning is an underrated aspect of his game.
To come off the bench, a great player, an all-star Hall of Famer who understood the big picture, winning championships, being a part of that Boston culture, coming off the bench. So his steadiness, his selflessness, and then his stamina are the three things that, when I think about John Havlicek, really come to mind.
Sometimes in a dynasty like that, it's hard to separate the player from the organization. In this case, John Havlicek was part of a couple of different eras of greatness in Boston.
He really was. He really was. I mean, his career was long enough where he caught the tail end of that first era of Russell and Casey Jones and Sam Jones and the great Boston Celtics teams, and then he kind of bridged the gap towards that next era. He kept relevant. He played with JoJo White in the 70s. They had some championships, Dave Cowens, and then he retired right before the great Larry Bird in that era. So
I like that intro.
Really a part of sort of multiple eras. And
I like that.
there's a
And
lot
hold
of
up,
great
let's take a
things
time.
apart.
Now it's on my mind. And I respectfully, let's take a time. I had a guy that commented in my comment section. I forgot what video it was. And he was like, hey, bro, you need to do more up-to-date reactions, which I do want to, and I don't knock that. And he was like, the Larry Bird stuff getting played out, in my opinion. But I'm looking like, I'm listening to my man, Aram. He loves Larry Bird. My lady, Miss Cindy Knudsen, she loves Larry Bird. My lady, Miss Irish Girl, she loves Larry Bird. And several other people that I can't, my man, Trekkie B, he loves Larry Bird. So if it's getting played out, why aren't they saying that? Why are they still coming back and recommending, hey, can you react to this bird this? Hey, can you react to that bird that? But that's a topic for another video. We're going to focus on this.
Of that Celtic tradition, but John Havlicek is right up there at the top as one of the greats there in Boston.
A great two-way player who also averaged nearly 21 points a game for his entire NBA career and has 8 championships to show for it. Here's Havlicek's former teammate Charlie Scott.
Ain't coming off the bench at that.
The most important game is the triple overtime game against Phoenix in the 1976 championship game.
Here come the Celtics. Clock will start when it's touched. Havlicek touches it. It begins. 3 seconds. Hondo off the gun. He's down in a second.
I mean, you're talking about triple overtime, and I think John played it maybe out of 63 minutes. He might have played 60 or 58 minutes, and at the same pace. And again, hit the clutch shots that gave us the win.
Hey, I got to do some more research on this guy because he got that hard-nosed grit work style that I admire. Because that's the work style that's going to overcome any lack that you lack athletically, physically, or whatever the case may be. That overcomes all of that. But that is it for this video, man. As you guys can see, if you guys did enjoy this video, do me, Bob, and yourself a favor. smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, if you've been watching my videos for this long and you haven't, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure that notification bell is on. That way you be notified on all things Rob Sports Center, because like I always tell y'all in every outro and in this outro as well, just like the GOAT Drizzy Drake say, I'm coming back to back with these videos, so you don't want to miss an upload. We out this thing. And when I say we, I mean me and Bob. We out this thing.